But David, he don't like to go to the doctor. There was several times I went to the doctor. One of the other armor bearers who was with him went to the doctor for him. He, like David might have been feeling a certain way, and he had me go to the doctor and explain what it is that he was feeling to the doctor and say that it was me feeling it so that he can get some type of prescription. Like stuff like crazy stuff like that,
So
man.
hold
You
up,
know,
hold on. Did he ever get prescriptions that way
yeah, he did.
with other people?
That I don't know. I don't know if he did or not. One other person he did, but yeah, that one other person he did. But yeah, man, he was good for that stuff, man. Like he will not go to the doctor even though he needs to. And because I remember I'm thinking to myself, like, they, what if they test me and see ain't nothing wrong with me, And so, you know, luckily for David at the time they didn't, and they wound up writing a prescription, and it was like an antibiotic. I haven't seen him take any narcotics, but it was like some type of antibiotic or something, and it was just like, man, looking back, I'm just like, man, I was twisted, man, doing this stuff for this guy, but I'm able to talk about it now, because he wants everybody to believe that he's so important and he's so busy. You know, he can't take this call. He can't do this. He can't do that. Uh, Let them know I'm in a meeting and he's laid up in the bed eating a Big Mac, or he's watching something with some woman laid up in the bed, but he's in a meeting. You know, yeah, that's what I'm telling you, man. And
Yeah, that's dirty. Somebody said
the people.
he's laying up with all these women. It's like, dude, that's dirty. It's like he could like,
Yeah, he's filthy, man, and he's real filthy because, uh, like Michelle, she be laid up with him too, and always has been since she came, like 2013, maybe 2012, somewhere around there. Um, she they've been in a relationship ever since she got there, and uh, in a twisted way, I believe he loves Michelle because she's just as twisted as him, and and she knows about these women, and it had got to a point where David no longer even tried to hide it from Michelle. He was telling her, uh, like we were out in Florida in 2017 when he got this fake presidential award from from uh
we know what you're talking
from
about.
President Obama.
We know what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah, man. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, man, this is what you've been talking about, man. Yeah, the fake presidential award. And while we was down in Florida, you know, of course you're gonna have a lot of beautiful women anywhere you got nice weather. And there was beautiful women down there, and me being a married man, he would always ask me, Cliff, look at her, what you think about her? And if I didn't say something like, oh man, she, woo woo woo, or he would say, you're religious. Oh, you too religious, you too uptight. you know I can't have religious people around me because you can't even be honest about how a woman look, that type of thing. And so what he does, he coerces you into sinning with him so that when you sin with him, if you ever say something about his sin, he'll bring yours up. And so a lot of people are trapped like that because they don't want him to air them out. But I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I can care less about what anybody who don't know me think about me, about some past things that I've done, David. So it ain't nothing you can say about me. You a liar anyway. Because one thing that he did do, man, he was trying to talk to somebody in my family through the Facebook inbox, but he didn't know that they was my family. And so I just blocked them. I told them, don't even mess with this guy. And then somebody else that I know, he messaged them, a married woman, and she asked me, she said, is it, she sent me a screenshot and said, is this really David? I said, no, that ain't him. It was really him though. But he was trying to talk to her, and but these people were close to me, so they brought it to my attention. And one of them, you know, didn't really bite the bait. Well, neither one of them did, but the one who was asking, was this really David? She didn't bite the bait. And so, um, going through Facebook, he was saying like mutual friends, and he saw we was mutual friends. And so he had Michelle call her, get her information and call her. And, the Lord, quote unquote, put something on David's heart that they needed to speak with her about. And so they start asking her about me. Was me and her messing around and all these types of things. And she's like, what? Like, no, what are you talking about? He's a married man, I'm married, and so forth. And Michelle, she's trying to hound her, like, are you lying? Because if you're lying, David's a true man, apostle is a true man of God. And if you're lying, you could be in trouble with God, all that stupid crap they be saying. And and she's like, no, what are you talking about? And then that didn't work as far as manipulation. So she said, okay, Cliff has HIV. Did you know that? And so she's like, well, I didn't know that. But if that's true, that's between him and his wife. And I don't think you should be telling me that. And so they go to them lengths and at those extents to try to make people not love you, not want you, not want to be around you. And that way you're just isolated to the cult. Because let's just say I was talking to this woman. Let's just say I was messing around with this woman. As a grown man, that's my business. That's my now ex-wife's business, and that's the Most High's business. What does that got to do with David and Michelle? Absolutely nothing. But they don't allow nobody in that cult to have a relationship. He specifically teaches against it. He says you cannot mess with anybody here. No man can mess with no woman. No woman can mess with no man. And then he says, if you are going to mess with somebody, it got to be somebody from the outside. Number one, he know most people from the outside ain't going to put up with nobody who is totally living for David. And then number three, he knows that how they going to get on the outside? They can't go anywhere. They're on lockdown. Like I have my youngest daughter with me, and she's been living with me for 2 years now, going on 2 years. And my ex-wife hasn't seen her since. And when I went and got her, I was supposed to get my other children as well, my other two children from with my ex-wife at the cult. And I flew out to St. Louis to get them. And when I get there, she didn't have my other children. And I said, where they at? She said, oh, they said they didn't want to come. All of a sudden,